Hello guys, once again, it's Matt, and today we're going to take a look on the F5, the Northrop F5, specifically the F-5A of the Chinese tech tree. It's basically the same as the normal F5 that we are having in the event on the US tree, but it has the AIM-9 piece. Then the last patch received the RWR and the Flares and RWR, so it kind of received a buff, even though it only has two AIM-9s, which is kind of not the greatest missile. It doesn't have the radar or anything, BVR or anything. Still a very capable aircraft, a very good aircraft. It was bought by Taiwan, by the capitalist China on the 60s, late 60s, and it was used as their main fighter for a while. They had F-104, Gs, that they have bought from the US as well. So this aircraft were bought to complement it. They kind of have a very weird history, because in the Vietnam War the US actually landed these F5s to use in the Vietnam War on the South Vietnam Air Force, which is kind of weird, but yeah. And then later they actually basically just gave it some of their own aircraft, F-5As that they had in reserve, because the South Vietnam ones were too badly damaged, or they weren't flying in flying condition. So yeah, but a very capable aircraft right now. It's limited in its capabilities, basically, because it doesn't have much speed. It's not Mach 2 capable, but it turns like a jet zero, basically. It can take like 14-15 Gs without a hiccup. So yeah, very good, very capable aircraft. Normally the max speed at low altitude it's around Mach 1, but if you get to altitude you can actually go for a lot more. And it has a kind of weird damage model right now. Sometimes you can take a lot of punches and just stay alive and do weird stuff. So yeah, but a very good aircraft, very light aircraft. I normally am taking 20 minutes of fuel. It has a lot of ammo. I'm using the stealth rounds to do the challenge, but I normally use the air targets. But I found that the stealth it's very good. People just don't know that you're shooting at them, and the M39s are very easy to use. So I advise you to actually try the stealth. If you have troubles with it, then you try the air targets. But normally you're going to be quite you're not gonna have troubles with it. But yeah, very nimble aircraft. It doesn't have a radar, which in night battles could be a problem. But it has a lot of ammo, and it has two AIM-9s. It has the BR of 11.0, which is kind of high for these kind of aircraft, but still very capable aircraft. So it kind of deserves to be on this BR. The same type of gameplay that you see here you can actually use on the export event that it's happening right now, the event that you get the American kind of a prototype variant of the F5. So yeah, I advise you guys to actually try it, to use the same tactics. Try to be as stealth as possible. As you see in this part of the video, the AIM-9 is not the greatest, but it can do stuff if the target doesn't know that you're there. The range is kind of limited, but it's also kind of good at the same time, depending on the situation, depending on the altitude and stuff. So yeah, the energy retention on this aircraft is amazing. It just doesn't lose speed. But once you lose the speed, it's a little bit. It takes a little bit of time to get up to speed again. So you have to be watching out. I got killed a couple of times doing this video, just trying to actually gain energy again at low altitude after I drop it to the deck and lose the energy trying to evade a lot of missiles. So yeah, I mean, in these early matches I didn't have the flares yet, so yeah, that didn't help a lot. You have to actually commit on dodging the missiles and stuff. But yeah, you can actually get a lot of kills with it. I mean, a lot of kills. I mean, I have even a 6-kill game, an ace game, in the last game that I made. So keep an eye out. Watch the video till the end to see the 6th game kill. Uh, so my opinion on this is that any aircraft, any vehicle, even tanks or boats in War Thunder, they're not hard to fly. I mean, they have you kind of have a learning curve. So every single vehicle in this game, you can actually learn how to use it and be good at it. I mean, there is some exceptions. I got killed by our invisible missile there, but there is some exceptions. But normally, you just can do anything that you want. Basically, it's just any aircraft can be a very good aircraft if you know what you're doing and trying to use as it's supposed to be used as. So, for example, the F5, and here I already have the flares and stuff, which helps a lot, especially the RWR, with a lot of aircraft having the pulse Doppler right now. If you haven't seen the pulse Doppler video, take a look. I explain how to use it and stuff, but yeah, basically, I mean, this is a fighter, a pure fighter, a dog fighter made for just fighting with other fighters. It's just that. It's not an interceptor, it's not a ground attacker. So you kind of need to use it as a fighter. I know sometimes it's kind of weird, but I mean, you have to get into the furballs. The F-104 video, I said that you're supposed to be doing boom and zooms and and stuff like that, and surprise attacks. The MiG-23 also is a very good surprise attack fighter. But this one, I mean, you gotta get dirty, down and dirty. I mean, you gotta get to the people, got to get to the furballs and stuff. Try to use the combat flaps and try to, I mean, turn around and do head-ons. Try to shoot at 2 kilometers, evade the head-ons. I mean, you have to get really close to the enemies and try to evade them and fight them, you know, because it's just a fighter. It's a light and nimble fighter. It's one of my favorite fighters per se. It's like the MiG-21 kind of, but yeah, it's basically you have to use it like a very nimble, very capable turning wise fighter. So try to get to the middle of the map and basically just try to stay alive. But remember, when you're doing that, you have to be careful with your 6. I mean, even with the RWR, you kinda need to take a look at I mean, you have to be careful with IR missiles. Try to just stay alert and do. I mean, there's not much that I can say about this aircraft. Just try to do that. Okay. And here we have the last match that I made 6 kills. So yeah, I tried to attack this Draken at first. I have this weird glitch inside of my cockpit. I was testing it out if the IR sensor was working inside the cockpit. But anyway, I see the Draken, but the Draken is too far away. The Vegan is a little bit closer. As I said, the AIM-9 is, I don't like the AIM-9, but it's kinda good if the target doesn't know that you're there. So 2 easy kills here, very easy kills. they didn't see my missile coming. So, I mean, it's not your main armament. It's not like the Yak-38 that if you don't have the R60, you're basically, I mean, effed. But you can actually get a lot of kills with it. If you, I mean, 2 kills with 2. This was weird. Look at it. He almost killed me. If he would, I mean, if the nose got up a little bit, he would be able to kill me. But yeah, but basically it's not the main armament. The M9 is not the main armament. But still, if you try to get at least 1 kill with it, it's fine. It's great. I mean, I would advise you to don't shoot it until you kind of have a certainty that the missile will hit. Just because you don't have the number of missiles that other aircraft have. So you don't have 4 M9s and Sparrows or 4 R60s and stuff. So just shoot it at people that you kind of think that they don't know that you're there. And the rest, I mean, it has a lot of ammo on the 20 millimeters, and they are very good 20 millimeters. So, I mean, after the missiles, you're going to be looking at gun kills only. So try to get used to it and try to use the stealth rounds, as I said before. Very, very good ammo belt to use in this aircraft. People just don't know that you're trying to shoot at them as any stealth round. But yeah, I turned it to get the Draken in the F-104 here. Yeah, I critted him, and he will be ending up crash landing and giving me the kill later. As I said, 20 minutes of fuel. I'm getting low on fuel right now. Another kill, easy kill. Then I have just a little bit of rounds, not a lot of fuel. I'm going to try to make something out of it. Oh, see this? The flares of the F5, it completely changes the aircraft. I mean, this is a very easy aircraft to actually evade missiles. Very nimble. As I said, I can get like to 14 G sometimes. But even with that, sometimes when you are low on energy, you kind of you cannot do anything about it. So yeah, here I landed and refueled, got more missiles. I ended up getting the J-35 kill, I think right now. Let me see. Yeah, it was around now, yeah. The critted one that I critted before. So ace kill, ace game. And then the last one that was flying around near the base. I tried to get a launch very far away to see if he turned it or anything, because he was trying to get to the base. So I tried to launch the missile just to scare him. The missile would never hit the target, but it made him take off his afterburner. As you see, I lost the lock. The missile self-exploded. And he turned it. So the missile itself was a very good tactic to use. A little bit of a hit there. And then the loop to get him with a low energy. I was looking at the AA to see if it was firing at me. And a missile launch just to make sure. So 6 kill game. Very easy game. Very easy win to the team. My team was kind of lame, but they made the enemy divide itself, so it was good. So if you like this video, click subscribe, click the like button, and leave your suggestions on the comments. I'm trying to do some things different, but anyway, I see you guys on the next one Saturday. So yeah, see ya.